Hey, if you're enjoying these writing lessons and want to practice your writing, then get even more writing lessons and printable writing practice sheets inside our learning program. So sign up for a free lifetime account right now. It takes less than 30 seconds. Just click the link in the description to sign up and start learning in seconds. Hi, welcome to Introduction to Italian. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Marika.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Italian writing. Both English and Italian use the Latin alphabet. Unlike English, however, Italian only uses a select number of letters.
The Italian alphabet has 21 letters. 5 of them are vowels and 16 are consonants. Compared to English's 26, you have 5 fewer letters to worry about.
Missing are the letters J, K, W, X, and Y. They're all considered to be foreign letters in Italian, and are only used for words borrowed from other languages.
The most common examples are jeans, password, relax, yoga, and extra.
An accent is a marker that is used to indicate some additional quality. That being said, accents aren't as intimidating as they look. They actually help you more than anything.
There are 2 types of accents used in Italian. The grave accent, which looks like a line falling from left to right, and the acute accent, which looks like a line rising from left to right.
The grave accent can only appear over vowels. Any vowel that appears at the end of a word can have a grave accent.
Città, caffè, lunedì, falò, giù.
The grave accent, then, actually takes away the ambiguity from where to place the stress. It's essentially telling you to stress this vowel.
So, whenever you see the grave accent in Italian, just stress that syllable.
If the vowel at the end is an E and it has the grave accent on top, it's indicating that we should pronounce it as an open E. And of course, we must stress the syllable.
Tè, caffè, è.
The other accent is the acute accent, and it's used to indicate that we should pronounce it as a closed E.
Perché, finché.
The acute accent can only appear over the vowel E, and only when it's at the end of a word. Vowels that are not at the end of a word are rarely marked with an accent outside of dictionaries.
When this happens, however, it's used to help the reader distinguish between 2 words which would otherwise appear the same. Ancora, ancora. Principi, principi.
Now you know the function of accents in Italian. Another important element to Italian writing is learning when to use capital letters, as they differ from English quite a bit.
Generally, words in Italian aren't capitalized nearly as much as English.
For example, days, months, and languages are capitalized in English, but not in Italian.
So we simply write lunedì, martedì, aprile, maggio, inglese, italiano.
Capital letters are only generally used at the beginning of a sentence or with proper nouns.
A proper noun can be the name of a person, like Rita, but also the name of a place, like Venezia or Montebianco.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that the standard Italian alphabet consists of 21 letters. You also learned that the grave accent can appear over any vowel at the end of a word and is used to indicate that the syllable must be stressed. When the grave accent appears on the letter E, you must use an open pronunciation. When the acute accent is used, it'll only appear over the letter E, indicating that you must use a closed pronunciation. Finally, Italian only uses capitalization at the beginning of a sentence and with proper nouns. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this series, you'll master Italian pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in Italian, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In this first lesson, you'll learn about the building blocks of the Italian pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. The letters used in Italian are the same as the letters you use in English, with only the exception of a few accents on some of the letters. But be careful not to fall into a very common trap. As you're learning to speak correctly, you shouldn't concern yourself with all the letters. That's right, forget them. You care about the sounds of Italian, and here they are. There are 24 consonant sounds and 7 vowel sounds. You can form every single word in Italian by using these sounds. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 24 consonant sounds in Italian, you already know 19 of them. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore 5 of the vowel sounds for the same reason. The only things standing between you and perfect Italian pronunciation are 5 new consonant and 2 new vowel sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Desiree, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
Ciao, sono Desiree.
Desiree will be giving you native pronunciation examples for you to imitate. But for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of Italian.
Zaino, maglia, gnocco, torta, indirizzo, vero, come.
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes Italian learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of Italian. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your Italian sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer, you will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in Italian. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on. And for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn the top 5 Italian pronunciation mistakes to avoid. These are common mistakes that Italian learners tend to make, so pay close attention and make sure that you don't make these same mistakes too. Are you ready? Then let's get started. Number 1. Not enunciating the vowels enough. Italian pronunciation is based on syllables where vowel sounds are predominant. Many students of Italian do not enunciate the vowel sounds enough, which makes their pronunciation sound unnatural. To correct this, you should try to open your mouth and let the air pour out, pronouncing each and every syllable clearly. Pay attention to the way Desiree enunciates the vowel sound in each syllable and try to imitate her. Listen to the example.
Roma, barone, buongiorno.
Number 2. Shortening double consonant sounds. This is a common mistake because many students aren't aware that double consonants are actually pronounced for a longer duration in Italian than they are in English. To solve this problem, try to lengthen the sound a little bit longer than you would in English. In the following examples, pay attention to the duration that the double consonant sound is held for and try to imitate it for yourself.
Motto, valle, spesso.
Number 3. Not pronouncing rolled R's correctly.
R,
This is arguably the most difficult sound for Italian learners to pronounce correctly. It's quite a complex sound, and in fact, it's one of the last sounds that Italian children learn how to pronounce. The only way to solve this problem is to keep listening to native Italian speakers and practicing it yourself, or practicing with us. Listen to the following examples.
3. Parco, radio, frigorifero.
We'll learn more about this sound in Lesson 7. Number 4. Mispronouncing the G and L sounds together. This is another sound that's difficult for Italian learners to pronounce.
Gli,
It's a peculiar sound because it sounds somewhat like an English L, but not exactly. The problem arises when speakers begin substituting the regular L for this sound. Listen to Desiree and pay attention to the way it's pronounced in the following words.
maglia, meglio, aglio.
Don't worry if you don't get it straight away, because we'll break down this sound in Lesson 6. Number 5. Mispronouncing the C and I sounds together.
C,
This sound is identical to the ch in church. The only difference, though, is that it's stressed even more in Italian than it is in English. Listen to the example.
Cucina. Lucia.
Notice how the ch sound is more stressed in Italian than it is in English? Be mindful about pronouncing the ch sound when speaking in Italian. Now you know the top 5 Italian pronunciation mistakes to avoid. Try to be careful so that you don't commit these same mistakes. Still feel a bit worried? Over the rest of this series, we'll cover all of these topics in depth. In the next lesson, we'll start learning vowel sounds in Italian. Which of these 5 mistakes is the hardest to avoid? Have you learned any tricks to deal with them? Let us know in the comments. Stick with us and you'll overcome these quickly. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn all 7 Italian vowel sounds.
A. E. E. I. O. O. U.
With these sounds, you can pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in Italian. Some vowels may be hard for you to distinguish, especially for English speakers, so make sure you listen carefully. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first vowel is
A. Sarà. Casa. Alto.
It's identical to the A sound in the word father, except that it's held for a little longer. Open your mouth wide and let the air pour out.
A. 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 A.
The next vowel is
E. Bene. Cioè. Elica.
It's identical to the E sound in the word red. This is an open sound, so be sure to widen your mouth.
E. 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 E.
The next vowel is
E. Vero. Inglese. Stelle.
It's very similar to the E sound in the word nay. Drop your jaw just a tiny bit until you hear a slight change in sound, but be careful not to widen your mouth too much. This will prevent you from carrying over the I sound and will allow you to properly pronounce the sound.
E. 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 E.
The next vowel is
I. Imposta. Colibrì. Bile.
It's identical to the double E sound in the word see.
I. 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 I.
The next vowel is
O. Parola. Posso. Otto.
It's identical to the OU sound in the word ought. This is an open sound, so be sure to widen your mouth.
O. 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 O.
The next vowel is
O. Ombra. Come. Foro.
This is like the previous sound, except your tongue is positioned a little bit higher. It's quite similar to the O sound in the word O. Just make sure not to widen your mouth too much. You only want to carry over the W sound slightly. Listen to Desiree.
O. 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 O.
And the last vowel is
U. Tutto. Tuo. Ultimo.
It's identical to the double O sound in the word boot.
U. 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 U.
Well done! You just learned all 7 vowel sounds in Italian.
A. E. E. I. O. O. U.
With these sounds, you can properly pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in the Italian language. Isn't that great? Well, that's all for vowels. In the next lesson, you'll start learning consonant sounds. Which vowel sound was the most difficult for you to learn? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 9 Italian consonant sounds.
B. C. K. D. F. G. J. L. M.
These consonant sounds are identical to the ones in English. So if you know English, they should already be familiar to you. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
B. Banca.
like the B sound in the English word buy.
B. 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 B.
The next consonant is
C. Ciao.
like the ch sound in the English word chair.
C. 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 C.
The next consonant for this lesson is
K. Anche.
like the k sound in the English word kite.
K. 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 K.
The next consonant is
D. Dove.
like the d sound in the English word dad.
D. 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 D.
The next consonant is
Fatto.
like the f sound in the English word find. The next consonant is
G. Gatto.
like the g sound in the English word goggle.
G. 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 G.
The next consonant is
J. Magia.
like the j sound in the English word jump.
J. 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 J.
The next consonant is
L. Lato.
like the l sound in the English word love.
L. 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 L.
The final consonant for this lesson is
M. Mano.
Like the sound in the English word mouse.
mm, 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 mm,
Well done! You just learned your first 9 Italian consonants.
p, ch, k, d, f, g, j, l, m.
In the next lesson, you'll learn 10 more consonant sounds that are identical to the ones in English. Was seeing the pronunciation illustrations helpful? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 10 Italian consonant sounds.
Mm, mm, p, s, sh, t, v, w, y, z.
These consonant sounds are identical to the ones in English, so if you know English, they should already be familiar to you. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
Nuovo.
like the sound in the English word nice.
Mm, 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 mm,
The next consonant is
anche.
like the sound in the English word sing.
Mm, 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 mm.
The next consonant is
P. Primo.
like the p sound in the English word pie.
P. 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 P.
The next consonant is
S. Sole.
like the s sound in the English word sea.
S. 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 S.
The next consonant is
Sh. Scena.
like the sh sound in the English word shy.
Sh. 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 Sh.
The next consonant is
T. Tavolo.
like the t sound in the English word take.
T. 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 T.
The next consonant is
V. Vaso.
like the v sound in the English word vanish.
V. 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 V.
The next consonant is
V. Uovo.
like the w sound in the English word win.
V. 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 V.
The next consonant is
Y. Ieri.
like the y sound in the English word you.
y, 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 y,
The final consonant for this lesson is
z, asma,
like the z sound in the English word zebra.
z, 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 z,
Well done! You just learned another 10 Italian consonants.
m, m, p, s, sh, t, v, w, y, z.
In the next lesson, you'll learn 3 new consonant sounds. These sounds don't appear in English, so they'll be trickier than the last group. Were there more common sounds than you expected? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 3 Italian consonant sounds.
C, L, N.
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so they'll likely be new to you. Be sure to practice them because these are unique sounds of Italian which learners often get wrong. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
C, mezzo, zero,
Let's break down this consonant. This consonant sound is like a combination of a D and a Z sound. It starts off as a D sound, but ends with a Z sound. Here's a great tip. You can produce this sound by saying the word dads. One useful trick is to bounce off the ending when trying to pronounce this consonant sound.
C, 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 C,
The next consonant is
L, maglia, figlio,
Let's break down this consonant. You can sometimes produce this sound by saying the English word million. Try it. Try to think of it as pronouncing a regular English L, but instead of using the tip of your tongue, try to use the blade or the middle part of your tongue.
L, 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 L,
The final consonant for this lesson is
Gn, gnocco, bagno,
Let's break down this consonant. Raise your tongue so that the middle or blade of the tongue touches the roof of your mouth. It kind of sounds like a combination between the n and y sounds in the English word canyon. Here's a great tip. Try to think of it as pronouncing a regular English N, but instead of using the tip of your tongue, try to use the blade or middle part of your tongue. Let's take a closer look.
Gn, 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 Gn.
Well done! You just learned 3 new Italian consonants.
C, L, Gn.
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so be sure to practice them. In the next lesson, you'll learn 2 more Italian consonants that are unique to English speakers. How difficult were they to learn? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 2 Italian consonant sounds.
R,
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so they'll likely be new to you. Be sure to practice them because these are unique sounds of Italian which learners often get wrong. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
R, Roma, quattro,
This is also known as a rolled R or rolling your R's. Lightly contact the gums directly behind your top teeth with the tip of your tongue and try to direct just enough air through it so that the opening opens and closes rapidly, as if fluttering or vibrating. It almost sounds like a rapid D sound.
R,
You should feel the pressure behind the gums and at the tip of your tongue. Listen to a few more examples.
ferro. Arrivederci. Ripercorrere.
One useful trick is to repeat the words butter or ladder really, really quickly. Eventually, you'll produce the rolled R sound. Yet another trick is to think of olden day movies. Do you remember how Dracula first introduced himself? Like Doracula. Try to say it like this multiple times. You want to focus on the D and R sound in the word Dracula. This very quick transitioning from the D to the R can sometimes allow you to pronounce the rolled R sound. Okay, let's break this sound down.
R, 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 r.
Keep practicing this sound. You'll get there eventually. The final consonant for this lesson is
S. Grazia. Pozzo.
This consonant sound is like a combination of a T and an S sound. It starts off as a T sound, but ends with a S sound. Here's a great tip. You can produce this sound by saying the word cats. So one useful trick is to bounce off of the ending when trying to pronounce this consonant sound.
S, 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 s.
Well done! You just learned 2 new Italian consonants.
R, s.
You've now learned all of the sounds that could possibly be pronounced in Italian. How difficult were they to learn? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, we'll cover the pronunciation of the letter S, diphthongs, and the hiatus. First, let's take a look at the different ways that the letter S can be pronounced. Like English, the letter S in Italian has many different ways of being pronounced. The most common, S, is the same as the S sound in the words sail or snake. Listen to a few examples.
Serpente. Polso. Sconto.
But sometimes the letter S may sound like a Z sound. If you think about it, it's the same for English, like in the words wise or cruise. The letter S takes on a Z sound when it precedes any of the following voiced consonants. Listen to a few examples.
Sbaglio. Sdraiarsi. Sgridare. Slittare. Smemorato. Snello. Sradicare. Svogliato.
S can also take on a Z sound when it appears between vowels.
Casa. Cortese. Fisica.
Finally, whenever you have a double S, you need to say it with more emphasis. Pronounce it for longer than you typically would in English. Listen to the examples.
Cassa. Rosso. Abisso.
Okay, let's move on. A diphthong refers to 2 vowel sounds that are pronounced within the same syllable. You can kind of think of it like gliding from one vowel to the next very quickly. English has diphthongs as well. Take the word loin, for example. It's not pronounced lo-in, but loin. Or the word foul. It's not fo-ul, but foul. Notice the difference? Okay, now let's have a look at some of the most common diphthongs in Italian. When I precedes another vowel, it takes on a y sound.
Chiaro. Pieno. Chiodo. Piuma.
When U precedes another vowel, it takes on a W sound.
Quando. Quello. Linguine. Luogo.
When a vowel is followed by an I, the sound glides and kind of merges.
Zaino. Caleidoscopio. Asteroide. Anguilla.
Same if an A or an E is followed by a U.
automobile, laurea,
Okay, I think you got the hang of it. Let's move on. A hiatus is a pause between two vowel sounds, causing them to be pronounced in separate syllables. It's essentially the opposite of a diphthong. Words like cooperate or re-elect are examples of a hiatus in English, in which case it is marked by a hyphen. Let's have a look at some examples in Italian.
boemo, creare, eroe, iato,
The last example is special because the hiatus rarely involves the letter I or the letter U. Unfortunately, for most of these words, you'll just have to learn and memorize them. They're either exceptions or ones that don't fall into any of the diphthong rules from before. In this lesson, we covered the different pronunciations of the letter S, diphthongs, and the hiatus. In the next lesson, you'll learn about Italian accents. Does your language have similar diphthongs and hiatus rules? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, we'll cover accents in Italian. Have you seen these marks before? They commonly appear above vowels. They're called accents, and their main job is to tell us when to modify the pronunciation of a vowel. They may look intimidating at first, and their function may seem complicated, but in fact it's quite simple. There are two main accents in Italian. The first is the grave accent. It can appear over all vowels, but only if that vowel is the last syllable of a word. If it appears otherwise, it's likely an unusual pronunciation. It's represented by a downward stroke. The second accent is the acute accent, which can only appear over the vowel E. It's represented by an upward stroke. Accents in Italian are used primarily to mark stress. So whenever you see an accent in Italian, you know that the vowel must be stressed. The good news is that that's all you need to do for accented A, I, and U. You just have to stress them. So for now, we can brush them aside and just focus on E and O. The three remaining accented vowels will require you to pronounce them in a certain way. But remember, you've learned all of the sounds before, so it's nothing to worry about. First is the grave accented E.
cioè, c'è, caffè,
This is identical to the E in the word red. This is an open sound, so try to widen your mouth. It's easy to remember because the downward stroke is telling you to drop your jaw and open your mouth. Compare that to the acute accented E.
perché, finché, benché,
This E sound is more like the one in the word nay. It's more closed than the grave accented E, so try not to widen or open your mouth too much. That upward stroke is reminding you to lift your jaw up. Finally, we have the grave accented O. This is an open sound, so be sure to open your mouth and allow the air to pour out.
sarò, perciò, però,
This is identical to the O in the word ought. Accented vowels can be written anywhere where a syllable needs to be stressed. For example,
sillaba,
the accented A indicates that the second syllable needs to be stressed. Here's another one.
poiché,
As indicated by the accent, the last syllable should be stressed. Easy, right? There's one big caveat, though, because accents are seldom written in modern-day Italian. Nowadays, it's only mandatory to mark the accent if the vowel is in the last syllable in the word. So the first example would actually be written without the accent, even though you still have to stress the second syllable. This can be a major problem for Italian learners, because unless the accent is on the last syllable, you'd have no way of knowing which syllable to stress. The general principle, though, is to stress the second to last syllable when in doubt. You could always check with the dictionary later, in which case stress syllables are always marked properly. Okay, let's conclude with a short quiz. Where should you place the stress for this word?
università,
The accent is on the vowel at the end of the word, so the answer is the last syllable. How about this one?
telefonare,
The answer is the second to last syllable. Remember, if you're not sure, the general principle is to stress the second to last syllable. Okay, last one. How do you pronounce this word?
affinché,
It ends with an acute accented E. This E sound is more like the one in the word nay. In this lesson, you learned about Italian accents. In the next lesson, we'll review the material that we've covered in this series. Do you have accents in your language? If so, what kind? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Italian Pronunciation Guide. You've made it to the last lesson. Do you feel more confident about speaking in Italian now? In the previous lessons, you learned all the core elements of Italian pronunciation. In this lesson, we'll bring everything together and practice making complete sentences in Italian. Make sure to practice out loud with this lesson. You know all the parts and pieces, but can you speak Italian with a natural accent? If you've been quiet up until now, be sure to speak out loud with Desiree's examples. We're making the jump to real phrases that you might use in Italy. Let's go! Here's the first one. Give it a shot.
Un biglietto, per favore.
Remember the common mistake with double consonants? You should emphasize the consonant more than you would in English and hold it for an extra beat. Try one more time after Desiree.
Un biglietto, per favore. Un biglietto, per favore.
What about this sentence? How would you pronounce it?
Vorrei un caffè.
Did you stress the final syllable? Remember that the accent marker indicates that the syllable needs to be stressed. And since it's a downward stroke, it'll be more of an open E sound, like the E in red. Try once more.
Vorrei un caffè. Vorrei un caffè.
Here's another one.
Sbadigliare è contagioso.
Did you pronounce the S before the B as a Z sound? Remember, when the letter S is followed by a voiced consonant, the S takes on a Z sound. If you remember that, you're doing great. Try once more.
Sbadigliare è contagioso. Sbadigliare è contagioso.
Here's your final sentence. Think for a while and try saying it out loud.
Il treno parte alle 3.
Did you manage to roll your R's properly? If not, you need more practice. Repeat after Desiree.
Il treno parte alle 3.
How did it go? Do you feel like you have a better accent than you did at the beginning of this series? What parts of Italian pronunciation are still difficult for you? Good luck as you continue learning Italian. Bye!
Ciao a tutti, sono Consuelo. Hi everybody, I'm Consuelo and welcome back to ItalianPod101.com's Italiano in 3 minuti, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Italian. In the last lesson, we covered the sentences come si dice in italiano and cosa significa. Do you remember? These Italian sentences mean how do you say it in Italian and what does it mean, respectively. Today, we are going to learn a new phrase that is very important to help you focus your skill not on the sounds, but on the writing. Allora, cominciamo! So, let's start! Whenever you're asking for advice about a good restaurant, a special thing to buy, or a place, and you don't know how it is spelled, what would you say? Può scriverlo, per favore? Can you write it down, please? Può scriverlo, per favore? Può means can you when referring to lei. Scriverlo is composed of the verb scrivere, to write, plus the pronoun lo. And you already know, per favore, please. Or you can also use the expression me lo può scrivere, per favore? Me lo può scrivere, per favore? Which actually means, can you write it down for me, please? Now, you don't know how to pronounce what the person writes for you in Italian. What would you say? It's very easy. Let's see. Come si pronuncia? How do we pronounce it? Come si pronuncia? We already covered come si, which means how do we? And the verb pronuncia comes from pronunciare, to pronounce. So you can become more familiar with the Italian alphabet. Now I'll tell you how we say each of our letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, Z. Instead of pronunciare, to pronounce, we can also ask how to say something by using the verb meaning to read, which in Italian is leggere. In this case, the sentence goes like come si legge? How do we read it? Come si legge? Let's put in practice what we've just learned. Scusi, dove siamo adesso?
In piazza Ferrucci.
Me lo può scrivere, per favore?
Certo, prego.
Ah, e come si pronuncia?
Piazza Ferrucci.
Ah, grazie, molto gentile. Now it's time for Consuelo's tips. When in Italy, please remember that normally most people will always be available and ready to help you. So, if you want someone to write something but you don't have anything to write with, or you don't have something to write on, don't be shy. Ask, ha una penna? Do you have a pen? Or, ha un pezzo di carta? Do you have a piece of paper? This does it for today. In the next lesson, we'll cover what to say when we are exchanging money. We'll be waiting for you in our next Italiano in 3 minuti lesson. Ciao, alla prossima lezione!
The 10 hardest words to pronounce. I hope I can manage somehow. Aiuto, help. Aiuto, help. This is a really helpful word because you can ask for help. For example, aiuto, sono chiuso dentro al bagno. Help, I'm locked inside the bathroom. You're not dying and you don't need help quickly. You just want to ask if people can help you. That would be aiutare. Puoi aiutarmi per favore? Can you help me, please? Chiacchierare, chat. Chiacchierare, chat. The most common error mistake would be chiacchierare instead of chiacchierare. Cinque, 5. Cinque, 5. In one hand, there are 5 fingers. Ci sono 5 dita in una mano. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ghiaccio, ice. Ghiaccio, ice. Be careful because if you don't pronounce G as an hard sound like G, it would be giaccio, that it's a verb and means lie down. Vuoi del ghiaccio nel tuo drink? Do you want some ice in your drink? A word that you can hear a lot, especially in summer, is ghiacciolo. It's an ice stick. I eat them a lot because it's so hot, and some ice, flavored ice, it's great. Già, already. Già, already. Già has 2 meanings. First one, already, sono già le 7. It's 7 already. To express consent would be like, oggi fa proprio caldo. Today is really hot. Già, yeah, really, indeed. Another example would be, hai già finito? Did you finish already? Lasciare, leave. Lasciare, leave. I left my key on the table. Ho lasciato le mie chiavi sul tavolo. Yeah, another meaning would be break up. For example, I don't want to break up with my boyfriend. Non voglio lasciare il mio ragazzo. When I go jogging, I leave my wallet home. Quando vado a correre, quando vado a jogging, lascio il portafogli a casa. Quando vado a correre, lascio il portafogli a casa. Pesca, beach. Pesca, peach. Yeah, for example, I ate a peach. Ho mangiato una pesca. Il tè alla pesca è il mio preferito. Peach tea is my favorite. Pesca, fishing. Pesca, fishing. Pesca, pesca. You don't open your mouth like pesca, but pesca. And this one is the hobby you can have. For example, I really enjoy going fishing. Mi piace molto andare a pesca. So the difference would be pesca and pesca. Mangio pesce più volentieri che andare a pesca. I enjoy eating fish more than fishing. Segno, sign, mark, stain, signal. Here the difficult is probably the sound ñ that you can practice with gnomo, for example, that it's elf, gnome. Hai lasciato il segno. You really left the mark. You really impressed them. It's something that you would say. Yeah, segno has many meanings in English. Un segno sul muro, a stain on the wall. Give me a signal, fammi un segno. Be careful not to say segno, but segno, because there is no I. And basically, in Italian, there is no word with both I and O after ñ.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.